on top of another card. You build a deck with your techniques, okay? And the bottom one's just as important as anything else in that deck. So make sure that whenever you're doing anything out here with these shoulder skills, that you're always, the little things, right? Your stance is always important. Always make sure you got the things that we talked about. You know, your slight pigeon toe, your stagger, your back straight, things of that nature. Make sure when you're doing your pulls, that you understand these are short pulls, right? You don't have the time to change you can't let your shoulders go through 5 or 6 different planes to be successful in the movement, right? And what I mean by that is when you're pulling, you're a lot better football player if you pull and your shoulders stay in a hitting position or your body stays in a hitting position, right? Which means you're right about waist level, your shoulders are slightly higher than waist level, so you're running, so now all you got to do is unload. And as I went through that path, my shoulders stayed in the same plane, okay? Some of you guys, you're pulling, and you're forgetting about that, so you're going to go ahead and pull, and now you're going to come out. So now your shoulders started here, and now they're here. And then you're going to run high. And now when you get ready to hit, now you got to drop your shoulders back down. And now when you strike the flow, then you start to climb back through the hit. So your shoulders change planes 4 to 5 times depending on how much you don't think about it. Right? And that hurts you. Right? That hurts your consistency. Right? So make sure when you're doing all this stuff that you try. I mean, I'm not the first guy to tell you it's hard. Right? But you have to concentrate on everything you do. Okay? Now what we want to do is let's have all the guards over there with Coach Fuller and Coach Dorsey doing the backer technique. You remember when we put it in, that I want you to try to get away from this man and make yourself small and get one shoulder on top of the other as you strike the arc up to that inside linebacker. And as we practice this stuff in teamwork, all you guys are forgetting that you're standing up and you're running a straight line to that. Well, any good defensive tackle, if you stood up and tried to get inside, he's coached just to take you right in the chest and just run your fanny right on down line of scrimmage and just use you to shut the trap hole. Alright? He won't have to worry about himself getting any kind of contact because he'll just put you between him and the trapper and you'll take the brunt of the punishment. So you have to get away from him and make him work to try to keep you off that linebacker. So remember, your steps are parallel and grabbing grass right now. Get your right shoulder over top. And now you strike the mark with your second and your third step. If you come up square on this linebacker and your head to the inside, striking a blow here, and you don't have to drive it in this drill, just give it a pop and stop. Alright? So we're going to have Justin jump up here. First couple shots, I'm just going to stand here, and as you release, go ahead, I'll say so go. Ready? As he releases, I'm going to lean the bag in just to give him an idea that, you know, a defensive tackle is going to read your head when you go inside. Alright? Ready? Set, go! So I'm going to lean that bag in. I'm going to try to touch your shoulder or back. Right? If the bag gets to 45 and doesn't touch you, you're doing a pretty good job. Right? If that bag touches you, then you're not dipping and getting away enough on your first step. Okay? So let's see if we can. When we say at 3, at 7, that means the point of attack. So if we say 181, Sally at 7, we're adding like the 4th digit to the numbering system. This is just for you guys that use our system. I know some of you guys don't, so it doesn't matter. Right? For you, this does. We got to finish as far as the goal, extra on the digits. But if we say 181, your question should be, well, Coach, it's 181, so 1's the point of attack, right? And so what we want to do is we put it in a place so that we get the 81 action in the backfield, and when we counter with wing backs and set halfbacks, then we'll go ahead and add an at 7 or at 3 to tell you, look, you know, this is 81 action, but the point of attack is not 1. The point of attack is either 3 or 7. So it would be 81 Sally at 7 or 89 Sally at 3. So that you guys know that the 3 area is the right tackles area, the 7 area is the left tackles area. So we'll right and left, so you know that. But this is really a fun play for us, and for the last, since 1984, it's been one of the 1, 2, or 3 best plays in the offense every year in terms of number of times we'll run it per year and the number of yardage that it averages for the amount of that we run it. And the reason why it's a fun play is that it's not a rigid, structured blocking scheme. We're going to give you some freedom in reading the defense's reaction. And basically you will take the defense the way it wants to go, and somewhere in there, there'll be a hole, and the running back's job is to find that hole. So that if we go 81 Sally and 7, we put this in right now without any defense, what is really the backside of the play, 81 medallion 7. So these guys really on the backside, they have on assignment. So it's gap on backer. So they will just block on aggressively, try to keep your shoulders square. Now with these particular blocks, you're not going to try to swing your tail, because with it being counteraction, the handoff will be delayed behind these guys. So if they get right into the block, strike the blow, and work to swing their tail, all of a sudden this guy has to open the door to go run into the backfield. Over here. So we just try to take off with our head inside, strike a blow, and keep our shoulders square, just drive the guy upfield without letting him turn your shoulders and fall off one way or another. So if in Oklahoma there's nobody on you, then you can just run right out and try to fly back. Now, the back side of it, we want to show pass protection. We want to fake pass, alright? So that we step in cup. Now, the center has a little bit of a, if it's an odd spacing, we want the center to reach so it looks like, again, if you can picture this in your mind, the fullback will belly this way like cross block. So that the nose man and the linebackers a lot of times are keyed into him, so that we like the center to take a reach step, because that correlates with the fullback bellying this way, and so when the nose man sees you reach and then looks up and sees the belly, he's going to start to move away from the hole, which is what we want him to do. So we're kind of, we're faking him out, we're decoying him this way. So that as soon as I reach center, and he starts to come with me, then you immediately can swing your tail, take him the way he wants to go, because he's going away from the play. Now, if it didn't work that way, if you took the reach step, take the reach step, I don't buy it. I'm just going to come backside, and all you would have to do is just take a rough step, get your hand into me, and then just wheel me deep into the backfield right here, and we'll run inside the nose man. Alright? Now, so that's what the center does. This is an odd space you got to remember. So now we have nobody on the guard. So you guys will immediately just pivot and show your hands like it's pass protection. And you'll pivot so that you have a slight inside position on this guy. We're going to invite him to go outside and have a guard release after a 2 count to the linebacker. So that if it does work that way, if he comes outside of you, you just pass protect, get your knees into him, and then just run him on the vertical right up the field. Alright, you'll help you do that. So that now, if nobody comes into your area, after the 2 count, you can release and just go right up through the running lane to block the second level of defense if there's somebody there. If he's left, then go right on to the third. Okay? So that if you get the tackle outside our tackle, the basic hole is right there between the center and the backside guard. Now you can also get some type of a pinch or a charge action by this tackle to the inside. If you guys turn out, if this guy forces into this area, then you don't try to prevent that. He's leaving your area, so do what? When I come into your area, now you just get your hand into me like that. Wheel him deep, and now since you have become the uncovered man, since the tackle has left your area, now after a 2 count, then you're the gentleman that releases to the second level or the third level, depending on what you, as soon as you get within the jersey. Right? So this is all area, and you guys have fun reading it yourself. So that regardless of what the defense does, somewhere in here there's going to be a hole. You know, after you read their reaction, someplace in here there's going to be a place for the running back to run. Alright? Now that's the odd spacing. With an even spacing now and there's nobody on the center, now here's what we ask the center to do. Is that we ask the center to step flat, close this gap and show his hand. Because now you're very strong to this seam, so we don't want that guy to penetrate. But at the same time, this hip's open, and it really looks good for this defensive tackle. He says, boy, it's going to be easy to beat that center right across his face. And that's what we want him to do. So if we step flat and open up like this, and he charges hard, as soon as he goes across your face, and remember, now the fullback is bellying the other way. So it encourages him to try to cross the center's face. If he does, the center just takes him, and wheels him that way. And now, again, the guard becomes the open player because the man that was on him when the ball was snapped has left his area, so he doesn't have to block on the line of scrimmage anymore. After that 2 count, boom, he goes to the linebacker like he did against the odd spacing. And with an even spacing, if there's a man on you, you just step inside and go rush upfield. You just get him in there, take him deep, and the hole happens again right here at the guard center's area. Now the center takes that step. I don't buy it. I just go through the guard. Now, center, what are you going to do? After what? A 2 count. That's important because the young guys, when I put this in back home, The young players, you know, they say, well, if he doesn't go, then I go to the back. Well, if you go too soon, you hurt yourself. Because they, 2 count is just about right. He gives the wing back enough time.